There are very few slice of life manga that focuses on the life of kids or children, which is kind of understandable. When you think of slice of life, you will usually think of school slice of life or married life slice of life or something similar. There are mangas that have experimented with slice of life stories with children in them, but they were almost always never the focus. For example, Barakamon is the story of a calligrapher sent to the countryside by his father after punching an old guy. He then meets the countryside kids and teenagers that end up influencing him and turns him into a better person. Another example would be the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting, where a Yakuza takes care and protects his boss's daughter while dealing with Yakuza shenanigans. What is shown in these examples are that there aren't many manga that focus solely on the growth of a kid without gimmicks that steer the story in another direction. But after coming across a manga that I didn't think much about due to the unfamiliar story beat that follows a kid doing kid things, I was blown away by how consistently funny it was and surprised by how such a great manga was just hiding under my nose the entire time. The manga is just a great slice of life and a masterclass in comedy, so if you haven't read this manga yet or you aren't convinced to read the manga just by the title and synopsis, allow me to convince you otherwise why you should read Yotsubato. Although you might think twice about reading a manga about a kid just doing kid things, this manga was created by the same mangaka that made where the comedic genius of the school slice of life gag comedy manga has been carefully molded and evolved. This evolution changed the tone of Yotsubato into a more grounded story that focuses more on the slice of life aspects, which ended up complementing the comedy even more. Azumanga Daioh relied on the exaggerated, outlandish situations that are so ridiculous that it makes the reader laugh, whereas Yotsubato's comedy is more grounded in reality and more character driven, making the sudden funny situations Yotsuba gets herself into that much more funnier. Yotsubato follows a green-haired kid that moves into a new neighborhood with her foster father. You follow Yotsuba Koiwai as she learns more about her new neighborhood, and you get to watch her explore and discover more about how the world works. You watch her interact with other people and make new friends while experiencing new things that come as a surprise to her. Her curiosity, high energy, and enthusiasm for life's simple things makes watching her grow and learn a fun and hilarious journey that you get to follow along with. Yotsuba's father, Yosuke Koiwa, is a great character that is seen actively supporting and teaching Yotsuba as she makes her way around the world. He can be as goofy as her and plays around with her, but he can also be serious when the time comes to educate Yotsuba. His way of parenting can be considered very laid back, but at the end of the day, he is a weird but great father. Each and every side character in Yotsubato has a fun and unique way of interacting with Yotsuba and different reactions and ways of dealing with her. For example, Yotsuba's neighbors, the Ayase family, has 3 sisters. Enna Ayase is the youngest but still has a level of responsibility which is shown by her caring for Yotsuba, but being young herself also makes her Yotsuba's close playmate. Fuka Ayase, the middle sister, has a level of responsibility that can't handle Yotsuba's eccentric personality and energy, but she is still quirky enough to still have fun together, making cakes and going to yoga classes. Asagi Ayase is the oldest of the Ayase siblings and has a mischievous personality that pairs well with Yotsuba, usually resulting in Yotsuba getting pranked or being led to cause mischief on her behalf. Another example would be Yanda, a friend of Yosuke and an enemy to Yotsuba. Yanda is childish despite his age and petty and arrogant, similar to a child in an adult's body. This results in the two of them clashing with each other in hilarious fashion as you watch a middle-aged man try to one-up a kid only for him to fail spectacularly. With every interaction with other characters, Yotsuba grows and learns about the world even more, and we get to follow her through her journey. The comedy of the manga is a combination of the absurdity of a comedy-focused gag manga and the funny everyday relatable occurrences of a slice-of-life manga. The joke is written in a way where the characters are doing slice-of-life things like visiting a farm or eating together. Then someone, almost always Yotsuba, does something that shocks the viewer due to the absurdity and unpredictability of what happened, like Yotsuba slapping a goat, or Yotsuba enjoying a handmade onigiri too much in front of Yanda that's only eating instant ramen noodles. So with this combination, We have the build-up and context of the joke from the slice-of-life comedy aspect, then the sudden drop into absurdity from a comedy gag manga. So the slice-of-life aspect gives the joke context that a comedy gag joke usually lacks, and the comedy gag aspect gives the joke a strong and sudden punchline that a slice-of-life joke can't usually achieve, and the two complement each other and they end up making a great joke. The manga also encourages you to continue to read it. Almost every new chapter has a callback to the chapter before it that allows the chapters to flow seamlessly together while you're reading. You can read a huge chunk of chapters and still feel like you've only read a couple of chapters as they are interwoven to make it feel like a continuous story as compared to the usual fresh restart that many slice-of-life comedy manga can feel after reading too much of them. The art style has evolved throughout its current 109 chapters. It starts off rough and unrefined, and you can see the style of Azumanga Daioh still peeking through. This doesn't mean it's bad, because there is still a level of charm that shines whenever Yotsuba is in a panel. As the manga continues, the art style changes as it becomes more realistic and aesthetically pleasing, where the walls and roads get textures, and the shadows get some fancy cross-hatching. The character designs evolve to suit the manga's feel more, where they get simplified, but they don't have to be chibified anymore. It isn't a gag manga anymore, the focus is more on the slice-of-life aspects, and that allows the realism and aesthetics of the panels to be appreciated more. Like all stories, you need to have dark to balance out the light. From the start, we were told that Yotsuba was adopted by Yosuke in a foreign country and brought her back to Japan to raise her. This was never elaborated on, and most likely will never be elaborated on due to it being non-integral to the growth of Yotsuba for now. So the entire time while reading the manga, every time she calls the neighbor's mother mom, you start to question more of Yotsuba's origin. Which country did she come from? How did Yotsuke and Yotsuba meet? Why did Yotsuke choose to adopt Yotsuba? And so on. We were given this mystery from the start that maybe, just maybe, we would get to learn more about this green-haired goblin's origin and continue to watch her grow even more. If, even after all of what I said has not convinced you to read this manga, then I just have to say that you are missing out on an experience that not many other manga can provide. So I would highly encourage you to try it out. Not to brag or anything, but I reread this manga more than 5 times already, and every single time, it has never failed to make me laugh. Therefore, in my humble conclusion, I highly recommend you to try out Yotsubato, as it is a great take on the slice-of-life comedy genre that focuses on the story of a kid growing up.